Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Thumb to my brothers, Yahshama Alathon, Basham Yahushai to my sisters. Alright, so my name is Officer Kayadwan, ISUPK Jamaica, and we are in St. William Grand Park. You understand, formerly known as Victoria Park. And you might ask, who is Victoria? This is Victoria, Queen Victoria. You know what I mean? The great grandmother of Queen Elizabeth that just died a while ago. You understand? Yeah, man. And when we come close and read, it says, Victoria of Great Britain and Ireland, Empress of India and of Jamaica, Supreme Lady, 1837 to 1897. You understand? Alright, so if Jamaica is really independent, why are there statues of, you know what I mean, the Queen grandmother still erected in St. William Grand Park? As well as statues of other oppressors, you understand, who oppressed the children of Israel here in Jamaica during slavery, brought them over here in chains, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. See? And that is because Jamaica is not really independent. When we were granted the so-called independence during, you know what I mean, the time when they said they gave us independence, 1962, you know what I mean. The Governor General was placed here to be the head of state, and he was the representation of, you know what I mean, the so-called monarch over there in Britain at the time. You understand? And he was the head of state. You understand? And today the Governor General is still the head of state of Jamaica, and his wife is called the First Lady. If you go in any government office, whenever you see a picture of the Prime Minister next to the Governor General's picture is always exalted above, you know what I mean, the Prime Minister's picture. And that is because the Governor General, which is the representation of the Queen here in Jamaica, is the head of state. You understand? So, you know what I mean? And even though this is happening, Jamaicans are powerless to do anything about it. And when I say Jamaicans, I mean, you know what I mean, the descendants of the slaves here in Jamaica. They are powerless. Why? Because you have to think about your everyday living. You know what I mean? You are so poor here in Jamaica, you know what I mean, that you don't have the strength to take on issue like these. You understand? Because you work and you make Britain rich. You make the Queen and her children rich. You understand? From slavery even to this day, Jamaica is still paying tribute to Britain. You understand? So you are poor. Meanwhile, Britain is rich. You understand? And that is the reason why, you know what I mean, things like this are able to continue. But the ISUPK and the Command in General, Your Honor, we are here to bring out the truth about, you know what I mean, what is taking place amongst the children of Israel here in Jamaica. You understand? And to tell you that voting is not real independence. You understand? Real independence is when you come back to your laws, statutes and commandments. You understand that Most I gave you as the children of Israel. Come back to your true identity. You understand? We're going to jump to a scripture. See? And show you what the Bible have to say about this. You understand? And about how the children of Israel are viewed by the Most High. Right, this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14, and it says, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? And that is a rhetorical question. You understand? Because Israel is not meant to be a servant. You understand? And it continues to say, why is he spoiled? You understand? Why are the children of Israel here in Jamaica spoiled? Why are we robbed? Why are we poor? Why do we work to make Britain rich and the IMF, you know what I mean, and the World Bank rich? You understand? When we are not meant to be servants. You understand? The word Israel literally means Prince of the Power, or Yashar Allah in the Hebrew, which means sons of God. You understand? Which means we are the royal bloodline here on the earth. So why are we, you know what I mean, in a servitude position? You understand? Why are we being spoiled by our enemies? You understand? Let me jump to another scriptures. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, and it says, I have seen servants upon horses. You understand? Just think about that for a minute. Servant upon horses. A servant is not supposed to be the one upon the horse, but yet still in this scripture, the Most High make you know say, him say servant and horses. You understand? Which means the people that rule over us, they are the original servants. But why are they on horses? Let me continue reading. And princes walking as servants upon the earth. Remember, Israel means Prince of the Power, or Yashar Allah. But we are walking on the face of the earth like servants. You understand? Bowing down to our oppressors, to our colonizers. You understand? So why is this happening? Because we turn away from our laws, statutes and commandments that the Most High gave us. You understand? As the children of Israel. That's why we in the ISUP can command in general, Your Honor. We implore you to come back to these laws, statutes and commandments. You understand? Because the Bible says, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. If you don't get back your identity as the children of Israel, you understand that there is not even a way that you can unite as a people, because some will call themselves Christian, some will call themselves Rasta, some will call themselves Muslim. No, man. So some will call themselves Christian, some will call themselves Rasta, some will call themselves Muslim. You understand? And we can't come together under different identities and different religions when we are the children of Israel. The children of Israel here in Jamaica are like children, you understand? Being ruled by somebody who is not even, you know what I mean, the real head of our house. You understand? Somebody who does not provide protection for the black people here in Jamaica. Talking about the monarchy in Britain, you understand? They call the shots here in Jamaica. Meanwhile, they provide nothing for the children of Israel here in Jamaica. You understand? They don't provide protection. They don't contribute anything to help the children of Israel. Yet still they call the shots here in Jamaica. Meanwhile, we pay them to call the shots. You understand? And as a result of them calling the shots, we are poor and there is nothing implemented here in Jamaica to better the lives of the children of Israel here in Jamaica. You understand? So, you know what I mean? We are like children in a house. You know what I mean? Ruled by the enemies of our parents. You understand? The real head of our household is a man called Yahushua Mashiach, which is a black man according to the Bible. You understand? This world would want you to think that he's white like our oppressor. You understand? But he's a black man. That is the king that we, you know what I mean, that we serve. Not the white Jesus in the Christian church. You understand? The Bible is our records. You know what I mean? The records of the Hebrew Israelites. You know what I mean? It is not a white man's book. You understand? He is the real head. You know what I mean? He's the only king we recognize here in the ISUP, Canada Commanding General, Your Honor. We only have one king, and that is not King Charles. Our king is Yahushua Mashiach. And with that, shalom.